I had lost my whole family. And I found the Walk for Peace. I also am one that wants to say thank you because I actually was in a very bad time when I found the Walk for Peace. I had lost my whole family. And I found the Walk for Peace. I have followed you religiously. I write, today is going to be my peaceful day. I make it further. I say, peace comes from within, and I control my peace. And I remember your word that you talked about once, and it's reaction. And it applies. The parking spot. Go to pull in, someone went to cut me off. I went to comment, and I stopped, and I went reaction. And I went, there's another space around the bend, turn around. And so if you do it every day, and the mindfulness I look at as really a form of detached awareness, where you're aware, you have to be aware first, but then you know to detach, and you come back to your breathing, and so you breathe. And so I do that with the impermanence and the loss of my mother, my daughter, and my family members. And I go, the life cycle, and leave it go. So I thank you so much, and I'm glad that I was able to say this to you personally, because I flew to Raleigh, I did Pittsburgh, I did Cary, and then when you walked in that crazy snowstorm when they shut the city down, and then when you came back at the end on February, I walked with you then, and I did both your VSAC celebrations where I did the candles and volunteered there and everything. So thank you. You saved my life. I mean, that's all I can say to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for letting me talk to you.
I'm so glad that you'll be able to stand up again. So I'm grateful for you. Okay, continue practice, and we gonna be with you. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your great message about Walk for Peace. One very last question. We sorry about that. We have a lot of people, but because of the time, one last question. Okay, over here. Those two not question, but sharing the idea and the message. This is a question.
นมัสการพระคุณเจ้าทุกพระองค์นะคะทุกท่านนะคะก็คือ question ก็คือ peaceful life start from family first, right? And start from mom or dad first, and then now I have not have baby, I have grandchildren over there. I would like to know like how I gonna teach her when she's kind of grow up to be mindfulness or peaceful. How I'm gonna start to teach her.
You are the role model. I mentioned that earlier. It started from you. It's always start from you, not your family. Remember this. It start from you first, and then it spread out to your family members. Okay? That is how you teach your kid. Try not to control them. Try not to control them. Give them their own space. Encourage them to do things that they want to do, but of course in a good way. When they have done something wrong, don't give them negativities. React. Just be mindful. Be patient with them. Tell them just like your friend, their friends. Show them the things, and then little by little, you give them that chance. They would listen to you, and then from there, you would be able to tell them what is right, what is wrong. But when we want to control the other, even though they are our kids, when we want to control them, they will run away from us. They will shut their door. They will build up a wall between you and them. Once they build that wall, you cannot communicate. But if you let them have their chance to express, to do their own things, love them, forgive them, give them chances, they would come to you every time when they encounter problem in life. That is what you need. You don't need a perfect person, but you need someone that willing to come back to you when they run into troubles. That is when they need you the most. That is when you have the ability to show them what is right, what is wrong. But if you shut that door, If you let them build that wall, then you have no more chance to tell them what is right, what is wrong. So practice for yourself first, show them that, and every day you practice, today is going to be. But the difference between standing up without intention versus standing up with mindfulness, that is totally different. And most of the time, we rush to stand up and create really noisy environment. We talk, we do this and we do that, and we pushing each other, trying to get out. Why? Because we need to get out that parking lot because we probably gonna stuck. I want to get to the monk. I need him to give me a card. I need him to give me a bracelet, things like that. Right? That is reality. But are we doing that mindfully or not? Most of the time, no. So now we need to start from here, from now, and in this present moment, and tonight. This is our work, which is when we stand up. When we stand up, we have to be mindful. One step forward, one step backward with mindfulness. Every step with mindfulness counts. Okay, we've been walking just like a skeleton walking already. Don't do that anymore. Walk with mindfulness. So when we stand up, backward, forward, same thing, we have to aware of each step we are making. Secondly, when we in line or when we're trying to get to the car, if someone bumped into you, how are you gonna react? Never mind? I don't think so. Most of the time we react with anger. With anger, for most of the time we react. Now, we still react, but we react a different way. With a kind smile on your face. Are you okay? Ask the question, are you okay? Don't expect them to ask you or sorry to you. Okay? Don't expect that. Instead, ask that person, are you okay? You need help. Give them a smile. May you be well, be happy, and be peaceful, okay? Be careful. Done. Our peaceful night. But if you react with anger, then all this talking are gone. Right? All the effort come into this temple and listening are gone if we react with anger. So now go to the car, stuck in the traffic. When we're stuck in the traffic, when we rush, we react, trying to find a way and get mad, being mad, not happy, and things like that. Don't do that either. You're still gonna be late. So, be patient. That is your chance to practice patience. I will be patient. Smile to your face. Smile to your heart. And give yourself some love. That's it. You get home. Promise you'll be home. Because you're mindful. Okay? The spirit, the devil will protect you if you're practicing. So don't worry about it. Now when you go home, you're hungry. You walk in that door, your husband or your wife shout at you. How you react? Smile? Honey, tonight is our peaceful night. Right? Then he will say something else, or she will do something else. That's okay. Give them some love, because they didn't have a chance to come here to listen and practice like you do. So you have to share it with that person. That is kindness. Don't react with anger. Now when you finish and then go have dinner. After dinner, you go wash dishes. Every step counts. You focus on the thing that you do. And then now bedtime. This is what we need to talk about. When we go to bed, what is your next step? Huh? Turn off the phone. Turn off the phone. But before turning off that phone, you would spend hours of searching for waffle piece or something else. Right? Now, our minds start talking. Because of all those comments and all those happening online on social media, we start talking and react. Now we let go of our lover and then try to close your eyes and sleep. You couldn't sleep because the mind is still talking, the heart is still beating fast. Then your whole night messed up. To change, 1 hour before bed, no lover, which is no cell phone. Even if you have to listen to the waffle piece, hold on into it tomorrow. It's fine, okay? No phone 1 hour before bed. I promise you, if you do that, all you need to do is just lie down straight. Put your left hand on top of your abdomen and the right hand on top of it. Close your eye, relax. Focus on that rising and falling. When you breathe in, your abdomen will rise. When you breathe out, your abdomen will be falling. So, rising, falling, just stay focused on that. Scan that, experience that moment, and then you go to bed whenever you feel asleep and whenever you sleep. That's it. You will have a peaceful night. If we have to die in bed, you already done your job, practicing mindfulness before we die. Right? Or you would rather choose anger before we die? Of course, mindful before we die. That's enough for our life, if we die that way. And then if we are not talking it with our mind throughout the night, then we have a restful night. When we wake up in the morning, what is the next step? Huh? Reaching for the phone. That is our old habit. Okay, no more old habit. You can reach for that phone, it's okay. But to turn off the alarm. That's it. Only to turn off the alarm. Nothing else. Leave your lover alone. Okay? What is the next step?
Make your bed.
Make your bed. Make your bed. Very important. Fold your bed sheet, your blanket. Make it look neat and nice. Next step is to go to the bathroom. Still no lover, no phone. Okay? Don't take your lover to the toilet and talk. When you go to the toilet, you do your thing, you finish, you come out. But if you have your phone with you, instead of 15 minutes in the bathroom, you would spend 1 hour in the bathroom. So no phone in the bathroom. Okay? Secondly, get a piece of paper and a pen. Write down, today is going to be my peaceful day. After that, read it over and over with our eyes and then read it out loud with our mouth. After finish that, now sit straight on the floor. If you cannot, you can sit on the chair. Back straight, but do not force your spine. Okay, relax. Just back straight. Don't sit like this, gonna mess your spine. So back straight, but do not force. Take a deep breath. And then deep breath, and then deep breath 3 times. After that, relax the whole body and mind. Put your concentration right here, this area by the nostril. The breath is going in and out through this, right? Yes. Yes?
Yes.
we need to add awareness to each and every breath going in and out. Awareness to the breath that going in, awareness to the breath going out. Stay focused on it. Don't follow it inside, you don't need to. Don't follow that breath outside, you don't need to. But don't force your breath. Just let it go in and out the way it is, naturally. Okay, now how you breathe, when you practice meditation this way, you breathe the same way. Don't try to force your breath to be longer or shorter. Just let it go in and out the way it is. Just add awareness to that breath, to those breaths, in and out. Now, that monkey mind start to jump. What is the monkey mind? The mind of thinking this and that. Talking about this, talking about that. Thinking about the walk for peace, thinking about the monk, thinking about anything. That is talking mind. Those are not useful. But you don't have to try to eliminate them, because that is natural. What we should do is when that thought pop up, acknowledge it. Observe the thought. Knowing that, oh, you have a thought. It doesn't matter what type of thought. Just acknowledge it, observe it, let it go by itself. Don't try to force it. Don't try to tell them to go away. Just observe it, and then it will vanish by itself. And then come back here. Or at the beginning, what you can do is acknowledge the thought. Observe the thought and acknowledge it by saying silently 3 times. Thought, 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 then come back here. That is your test, so don't fail, okay? Hello guys, your test, don't fail. Because you are listening to me right now. Okay, stay focused, remember. In and out, thought pop up, acknowledge it, say silently 3 times. Thought, 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 come back to your breathing. Bring your concentration back to your breathing. Then breathe in, breathe out. Another thought pop up, do the same. Do the same on those thoughts. Now, if you hear anything, your husband or your kids shout or yell or talk, it's okay, don't react. Smile, gentle on your face, and then breathe, acknowledge those sounds as sound, sound, sound. Come back here to your breathing. If you feel any type of sensation within this body, itchy, numb, pain, hurt, anything, just put your concentration on that, numb, that pain, that itchy, and then acknowledge it. Feeling, feeling, feeling. Come back here. That's all we need to do. Keep on repeating that. That is the basic step for us to train our mind to stay in this present moment. We don't have that habit yet. That is why we need to train ourselves, train our mind to start from the beginning by bringing that concentration back to this present moment. That's it. If you spend 15 minutes, that's great. That is good. Half an hour, that's better. 1 hour, that's even better. The more you practice, the better you are before you rush out that door. Okay? So that is our mission. That is our job to do every day, to practice mindfulness, to practice the breathing method. That is our own object within our breath. We don't need to borrow the outside object.
We live in a world that is constantly rushing. A vibrant but often overwhelming tapestry of noise, demands, and endless digital notifications. In our race to get to the next destination, to secure the next achievement, or simply to survive the day, we frequently lose touch with the very life we are living. Many of us carry an unspoken, heavy weight, a deep longing for an elusive state of inner peace and harmony that seems always just out of reach. We look for this peace in external achievements, in the quiet of a future vacation, or in the resolution of our endless to-do lists, only to find that the quiet we seek remains fleeting. Yet, if we pause and look beneath the surface of our busy lives, we find that the sanctuary we crave is not a distant destination. It is a state of being that is already here, waiting to be uncovered in the simple spaces of our everyday existence. This was the beautiful, grounding message that echoed through the sunlit grounds of Wat Thai, Los Angeles during a recent peace gathering, where the air was thick with hope, community, and the gentle reminder that peace is not something we search for, but something we cultivate. It is a practice of returning to ourselves, of meeting our struggles with a soft heart, and of recognizing that the most profound transformations begin with a single, mindful breath. To step onto this path of peace is to make a gentle commitment to love life more deeply, to cherish the messy, beautiful reality of each passing moment, and to discover the quiet strength that lies within our own hearts. To truly understand the power of this practice, we must recognize that mindfulness is not a technique reserved only for quiet rooms or pristine mountain retreats. It is a lifeline meant to be used in the depths of our most challenging moments. Consider the profound journey of a soul who has navigated the unimaginable valley of grief, someone who has faced the devastating loss of their entire family, including a mother and a daughter, and felt the world crumble beneath their feet. In the wake of such monumental loss, the mind naturally wants to cling to what was, to fight the reality of change, or to drown in the unbearable weight of sorrow. Yet, it is precisely in this dark night of the soul that the practice of what we might call detached awareness becomes a saving grace. Detached awareness is not a cold, unfeeling separation from life, nor is it a denial of our pain. Rather, it is the gentle ability to stand in the midst of the storm and observe our feelings without being swept away by them. It is the capacity to say, "I am experiencing deep sorrow," without allowing that sorrow to become the entirety of who we are. When we anchor ourselves in the present moment, returning again and again to the natural rhythm of our breathing, we begin to touch the profound truth of impermanence. We realize that life, in all its pain and beauty, is a continuous cycle of arising and passing away, like the seasons that shift from the harsh cold of winter to the soft warmth of spring. Our grief, too, has its own natural life cycle. By letting go of our demand for life to be static, and instead breathing through the pain, we honor our losses while gently allowing ourselves to stand up again. This is the ultimate resilience, the courageous act of choosing to remain open to the warmth of life even when our hearts have been broken, trusting that each breath carries the potential for healing and renewed peace. This inner resilience, forged in our deepest trials, finds its daily expression in the ordinary, mundane moments of our lives, where our commitment to peace is tested in the most unexpected ways. Think of a scenario so common to our modern existence: driving into a busy parking lot, spotting an open space, and preparing to pull in, only to have another car suddenly cut you off. In that split second, a wave of hot indignation naturally rises. The instinct to react, to honk the horn, to mutter a frustration, or to carry a grievance for the rest of the day is incredibly strong. But this is precisely where the sacred pause can transform our entire reality. The moment we feel that flash of anger, if we can gently catch ourselves and silently whisper, "Reaction," we create a beautiful, spacious gap between the triggering event and our behavior. In that tiny, luminous space, we regain our freedom. We realize that we do not have to be victims of our immediate impulses. We can breathe, look around, and gently remind ourselves that there is always another parking space just around the bend. This simple act of turning the car around without anger is a profound victory of mindfulness. It is a reminder that while we cannot always control the chaotic movements of the world around us, we have absolute custody over our own internal peace. When we choose the pause over the reaction, we reclaim our energy and preserve the quality of our day. We begin to see that the world is not conspiring against us, rather, it is simply presenting us with endless, small invitations to practice patience, to let go of trivial battles, and to choose serenity over conflict. As we cultivate this quiet inner sanctuary within ourselves, we naturally begin to wonder how we can share this beautiful gift with those we love most, particularly the children and grandchildren who look to us for guidance. When we see the young ones in our lives growing up in an increasingly complex and noisy world, our parental instinct is often to control, to direct, and to shield them by imposing rigid rules. Yet, the wisest teachings remind us that true mindfulness cannot be taught through force or lecture. It must be caught through the quiet power of our own example. You are the role model, and the transformation of your household must always start with you. When we try to tightly control our children, We often inadvertently build invisible walls between us. They feel the pressure of our expectations. They sense our anxiety, and they may begin to shut their doors, retreating into their own worlds where we cannot reach them. But if we practice mindfulness ourselves, we learn to offer them something far more precious than control. We offer them space. We learn to be patient with their mistakes, meeting their stumbles not with negativity or reactivity, but with the steady, calm presence of a friend. By listening deeply, forgiving easily, and allowing them the room to express their own unique nature, we build a bridge of trust rather than a wall of division. When life inevitably gets difficult for them, they will not run away. Instead, they will naturally return to us because they know we are a safe, non-judgmental harbor. We do not need to raise perfect children, nor do we need to be perfect ourselves. We simply need to be a warm, reliable presence, showing them through our daily actions that peace is possible, that love is unconditional, and that our hearts are always open to welcome them home. This steady presence we offer to our families is something we must also carry outward as we step into the public square, transforming our physical movements into a living meditation. Too often, we move through the world like sleepwalkers, or as the ancient teachings poetically suggest, like walking skeletons, physically moving but entirely absent from our bodies. Our minds racing ahead to the next task. We rush out of buildings, push through crowds, and crowd into lines, creating a noisy, competitive environment because we are anxious about being late or getting left behind. Mindfulness invites us to step out of this frantic stream and learn the art of walking with intention. Whether we are taking a single step forward or a step backward, we can bring the entirety of our attention to the physical sensation of our feet meeting the earth. Every single step taken with awareness is a step toward peace. This means that when we find ourselves waiting in line or navigating a crowded hallway and someone accidentally bumps into us, our response shifts completely. Instead of reacting with irritation or expecting an immediate apology, we can pause, look at the other person with a kind smile, and gently ask, "Are you okay?" In doing so, we offer them a moment of genuine human connection and care. This simple shift in perspective turns an annoying disruption into a beautiful act of loving kindness. We realize that the people around us are also carrying their own hidden burdens and stresses. And by choosing to respond with a smile and a wish for their well-being, we keep our own peace intact while gently softening the world around us. The real test of this gentle, walking meditation comes when we leave our quiet gatherings and find ourselves stuck in the inevitable frustrations of daily life, such as a gridlocked traffic jam on our commute home. When the cars stop moving and our schedules begin to slip, the mind easily defaults to its old habits of rushing, worrying, and getting angry. We grip the steering wheel tightly, our hearts beat faster, and we suffer through a situation we cannot change. But if we can catch ourselves in that moment of rising tension, we can choose to transform our car into a meditation hall. We can relax our hands, soften our shoulders, and smile gently to ourselves, recognizing that the traffic is not an obstacle to our peace, but our teacher. It is our perfect opportunity to practice patience. We can use the extra time to breathe deeply, send love to our own hearts, and trust that we will eventually get home safely. And when we finally open our front door, tired and hungry, and are met with the sharp, reactive words of a stressed partner or family member, we are presented with yet another sacred choice. Instead of meeting their anger with our own, we can take a deep breath, smile, and gently say, "Honey, tonight is our peaceful day." By refusing to absorb or return their negativity, we share the peace we have cultivated. We offer them kindness because we understand that they may not have had the opportunity to rest and practice as we did. We wash the dinner dishes not as a chore to be rushed through, but as a beautiful, physical prayer, focusing entirely on the warmth of the water and the simple movement of our hands, keeping our minds fully anchored in the present. As the day gently winds down and the night sky blankets our homes, we arrive at one of the most critical transitions of our daily rhythm, the preparation for rest. In our modern lives, we have developed a habit of taking our digital devices, which we might humorously refer to as our modern lovers, to bed with us. We lie in the dark, scrolling through endless feeds, reading comments, and absorbing the collective anxiety of the world, keeping our minds constantly talking and our hearts beating fast. When we finally try to close our eyes, we find ourselves tossing and turning, unable to quiet the internal chatter. To reclaim our nights, we must practice the courageous act of disconnecting. By putting away our phones at least 1 hour before bed, we give our minds permission to rest. When we lie down, we can place our left hand on our abdomen and our right hand gently on top of it. Closing our eyes and letting go of the day, we focus all our attention on the simple, natural movement of our breathing, feeling the gentle rise of the abdomen as we inhale, and its soft fall as we exhale. If we were to take our very last breath in this state of gentle, loving awareness, we would die having done our work of practicing peace. This simple, nightly ritual ensures that we drift into sleep with a clean, untroubled mind, allowing our bodies to truly restore themselves in the quiet sanctuary of the night, free from the heavy burdens of the day. When the soft light of morning enters our room and we open our eyes to a new day, we are immediately presented with a fresh canvas. Our old habit is to immediately reach for our phone, letting the demands of the digital world flood our minds before we have even sat up. But a mindful morning begins with a conscious decision to leave our digital companion alone, using it only to turn off the alarm. Instead of rushing, we take a moment to make our bed, neatly folding the sheets and blankets as a simple, elegant act of order and self-care. We proceed to our morning routines with quiet presence, and then we take a piece of paper and write down a simple, powerful vow. Today is going to be my peaceful day. We read these words with our eyes, speak them aloud with our voice, and let them settle deeply into our hearts. Then, we find a comfortable place to sit with our back straight but relaxed. Taking 3 deep, conscious breaths to settle our body and mind, we bring our focus to the gentle sensation of the air moving in and out of our nostrils. Not forcing our breath to be long or short, but simply letting it flow naturally. When the monkey mind inevitably starts to wander, thinking about our endless tasks, our worries, or the events of yesterday, we do not fight it or judge ourselves. We simply acknowledge the thought, observe it with a soft heart, and silently whisper to ourselves, thought, 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 before gently returning our attention to the breath. If a sudden sound disturbs us, we acknowledge it as sound, and if a physical pain or itch arises, we note it as feeling, always returning home to our breathing. This simple, daily training of our mind is the most profound gift we can give to ourselves. It is our daily mission, a quiet rebellion against the chaos of the world, reminding us that no matter what storms may rage outside, we can always find our way back to the steady, peaceful home that lives within our own chest.